All right, what's up everyone? I am back with the install video for the 750 watt Bafang motor. Rumor has it that inside the rear hub of the Rad Rover is not a true 750 Bafang motor. So I'm gonna swap them out, change them out. I've got the new one right here. Now I know a lot of the sites online are sold out of these motors, but I got this one from Electro Bike World. Put the link in the description. Yeah, he got it to me in like 4 days. So it came super fast. And we're gonna put this baby in the Rover. Now my plan is to actually just pull this motor out of its casing and just pull that motor out of its casing and swap them. So I don't have to change out this entire casing, of course. So I'm gonna hopefully give you a step-by-step walkthrough on what that's like and how hard that is for a guy like me that knows nothing about bicycle repair or anything like that. So let's give it a shot here. But first things first, I'm gonna try to open this and see what it looks like. All right, so to open this thing up, you've got to get these bits here. I don't know if you have these. I didn't have these, so I had to go out and buy them. These tamper-resistant star bits, because the bolt there is it's a star shape with a little post in the center. So you got to have that if you want to open up this case. So let's see what happens. All right, the one that opens it is T20. Not sure how tight these are going to be. That was pretty darn tight. Okay, and 3. So I've been able to break them all loose so far, but they are certainly not going anywhere. Moment of truth here. Might be something else holding it on. I did not research how to do this at all. I'm just doing it. All right, so I had to take a little, very thin screwdriver here and kind of just give it a little bit of a nudge to get it started coming out of this case. Wow. All right. That's what you get inside there. Kind of anxious to see what the other one's going to look like inside now. Now, unfortunately, it's time for me to dismantle this bike. All right, time to get the back wheel off. You can see I got the Rover upside down with my own little makeshift stand here. I just notched some 2x4 so the handlebars could rest in there and keep it up off the ground so I don't smash the controls or display or mirrors or anything. But all right, so we're pulling the back wheel, and then we're gonna, like I said, hopefully just pop that motor out of its case. I will show you the side-by-side comparison of what I take out of this 2018 Rad Rover compared to the Bafang 750 that I bought online. So I'll give you the side-by-sides. We'll see if it truly is a 750 inside this Rover or not. I need to put the cassette or freewheel, I guess whatever you want to call it. I'm not a bike guy. But this thing, we got to put this on the new motor before I swap it in there. So let's get this wheel off and get this motor out and show you what we find. All right, well, we got the back wheel off. It took a little bit of maneuvering to get it, wedged out of there, but she's off. And I am noticing something now. So I've seen some videos online where people say it's really hard to get this freewheel off because you got to buy the special tool for it. And then even if you buy the special tool, it ends up being like too small in diameter to go over this plug to actually get on there. So my plan was to just leave this freewheel here. And, my motor came with a freewheel. So I was just gonna put this on the new motor and not even worry about taking that one off. However, I'm noticing that they're not exactly the same. They both have the same number on them. They're both Shimano MFTZ 500-7. They got the same exact number on them. However, this one does say mega range on it, whatever the heck mega range means. And maybe that's why this gear here, this first gear, is really big compared to this one. It's just like a full inch in diameter difference. So I don't know what that means. Like I said, I'm not a bike mechanic, bicycle guy. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Obviously, the gearing is going to be different. I'm thinking my first gear won't be as easy. It'll probably be harder with this gearing. But I don't care about that. I'm just wondering if the shifter is going to shift okay with these different sizes. I guess we're going to find out. Like I said, you're watching somebody that knows nothing about bikes try to do this. So these are the things I'm running into. Okay, so let's pop this this motor out of this casing and hopefully get the new one in there. All right, so you saw me putting a lot of downward pressure on these bolts, and that's because I really did not want to strip them. I want to make sure I got a good bite on it because, I don't know if you can see, but this, this bit barely, just barely fits past this gear. So even when you try to, basically the bit is on there on an angle. You're not even getting a full bite on the head of this screw. So I put a bunch of downward pressure on it just so I make sure I didn't strip it. Because if you strip this thing out, I don't know how in the world you would get it off. But look, I can barely get on it. There, it goes on an angle. But you've got just enough amount of clearance here to get these out. Okay, there you go. That's what's inside my Rad Rover. Let's compare it to the other one. All right, just open it up. Moment of truth. You can see the gears didn't pop out with this motor. I'll just have to pull them out of there. But here you go. Here is the stock one here in my left hand. All right, so I brought these up on the workbench so you can get a real good look at them. This is the stock Rad Rover that I pulled out of the case, and this guy is the aftermarket Bafang 750 I bought, and it's a pretty noticeable difference. So there you go, it's true. All the stuff they say online that the Rad motor's smaller, even though it outputs 750. I feel better putting this one in. Hopefully everything works, knowing that this motor could probably handle the stuff I'm running through it with, different controllers and different batteries. This one, I mean, it could have been a matter of time before I burn it out, although I haven't had any issues with it so far, and I've put 250 miles on this motor with the new 35 amp controller. So there you go. That's what they look like out of the case. I'm a greasy mess trying to do this, but now we got to get this freewheel onto the new motor here. I plan on I don't have a tool for this, so I plan on just, putting this on and twisting it as tight as I can get it. And then from what I've, seen and read online, that you don't really need to torque it down, because if you just put it on tight enough and then get on the bike and ride the bike and pedal it, it should tighten itself with the force from the pedals and the chain cranking on it. So we're gonna do that once I get this all back together. Let's get this new motor swapped into the case. I guess that's it. I'm not sure how to tighten this, really. I mean, without that tool. I mean, you can't really grab it with your hands. It's too sharp. Let's try to get the back wheel back in, I guess. All right, good news is I got this wheel on. Bad news is I did it wrong. So, something to note for you, I'm gonna have to take this wheel back off and basically twist the axle a little, like one rotation, because it's got this right here, how this bolt is cut out for the wire to not have to bend around it, and it should be facing up. I have it facing down, so you know, it's putting stress cutting this cable kind of. And also the cable doesn't even reach. It's not short enough when you do it like this. So I'm gonna take this off and flip this, you know, half a turn so the cable comes out up here instead of down here. So there you go. There's a dumb mistake, but whatever. It's just gonna cost me 20 minutes of fighting with this wheel again. Let me give you a better close-up of what I was talking about. See how this axle bolt is cut out for the wire? That's got to be facing up so the wire has enough slack and it's not on a bind. So I had to pull the wheel out and flip that thing so now the wire will reach the plug because there's no slack and it won't be under any stress. So don't make my mistake. Okay, this wheel is on there and plugged in. I guess we find out now if it works. All right, we just went for our maiden voyage here to make sure it functioned, and it does. I'm shocked, kind of. I didn't think it would be, not to say that was easy at all, but I mean, for me having no know-how to swap out a hub motor and it actually functions, I'm happy with that. So the only issue I'm having right now is that this bike does not like third gear. The derailleur is in need of adjustment now. Could be having to do with that new freewheel I put on there. Maybe I bumped it out of alignment, cranking on this thing. I don't know, but it wants to jump out of third gear. It's fine in every other gear, but for some reason third, it just doesn't like that. It doesn't want to stay in third. So that's the only problem we've had right now. Pedal assist works. Throttle only works. The wheel didn't fall off. It brakes. So I'm happy at this point. I'll keep testing it. I'm going to do a results video to see if there's any difference with this motor in there compared to the stock. I'm not expecting there to be. Like I said, I feel like this motor is just strong enough to handle like all the other stuff I'm throwing at it with controllers and batteries and whatnot, where the stock one might not have been. So I don't think I'm going to gain any, you know, speed or, you know, acceleration or torque out of this motor. I think I'm really just going to gain robustness. Is that a word? I don't know. But there you go. Even if you don't know what the heck you're doing, you can put one of these in. Hopefully I filmed enough of the install for you guys. It was actually pretty easy. You know, taking the back tire off, you just taking the nuts off the end of the axle there and pulling it out. So nothing too difficult there. Swapping out the motors, once you take those, you know, 6 screws, the star-shaped screws out of the case, you just kind of tap it on the ground and the motor pops right out and you swap them. I mean, they go right in, they fit perfectly. There really wasn't too much stuff that was tricky about it at all. that was easy. Swapping the motors was the easiest part. I'll tell you, the hardest thing for me to do was to get the back tire back on the bike. You know, the axle has got flat spots on two sides, and then there's these little, you know, washers with things on them that you gotta line up, and then trying to get it to fit in both axle slots while at the same time getting it to fit in between the brake pads on the disc brake was very tricky. It took me, God, it must take me 20 minutes to get this wheel back on there, because, you know, I don't know if I've ever taken one off before. So yeah, that was the hardest part, was putting the wheel back on. The motor swap was pretty simple. And like I said, I'm gonna have to do some work now to clean up this mess I made in here. There's the case. Can put this old motor in there, I guess. Use that as my backup. And I'm gonna have to now do some research on how to adjust a chain derailleur, or maybe take it to a bike shop and have them fine tune it, because I'd really like to be able to use all the gears, you know, very smoothly. And right now it's not so much the case. It, like I said, wants to jump out of third. So we'll have to see if, I'd like to try that myself too, and see if I can't figure it out. And if I end up messing it up so bad, then I'll take it somewhere. But there is the end result. It is in, it works. It was not hard. Anybody, I think, could do this. You just need basic set of wrenches and Allen wrenches, and that star bit set thing I showed you earlier. You need that. But you can put in your 750 Bafang motor. And again, I got these from Electro Bike World. They had a lot of Rad Rover parts in stock: batteries, controllers, motors. They might even have some brakes. I can't remember, but they had a lot of stuff available in stock. Like I said, they got to me in 4 days, so I was pleased about that. And I don't know about some of the other websites if their motors come with a freewheel, but this one did. I got a freewheel with it, so that saved me a lot of hassle of trying to get the old freewheel off, which I don't have the tools to do that. So that was a big help, just making that swap easier. Well, hopefully this was somewhat helpful to you guys. It's really not that hard. Give it a shot if you want to change out your motor. I had to go change clothes because I was soaked in sweat, even though I had the air conditioning going on in this trailer. You know, trying to get that wheel in there I was breaking a sweat. So, but like I said, I hope that was helpful. And you know, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, do that now so you can see all the next upgrades I do to the bike. Battery is going to be next, 52-volt battery. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Comment with any comments or questions too. I'll try to get to them. Thanks.